Hey, welcome in this video. We get this question a lot. What is this microtesting thing? Why are you even calling it microtesting? Is it just not polling? It is polling. You know the reason why we actually call it microtesting? Several reasons. One of them is that there's especially in Amazon, there's such a kind of belief that they all know what polling is, and they think about this A/B testing, variation testing in some things called, well, other tools that are doing that, like PickFu, for example. But PickFu is so much different from what we do. Like, we created this tool when PickFu was already around. We got introduced to PickFu, I think it was 2016 or something, and still we decided to make IntelliV's microtesting tool because it goes way beyond what actually a normal A/B testing is doing. And not only the things that you currently see, but also like campaigns we have in the making, campaigns that we have available but are not released right now, because we first want you to know and understand and get your feedback about how this all works. So, but microtesting is when we say we have to test and validate it, you have to do it in like kind of a micro environment, right? Well, next to a micro environment comes a macro environment. What is a macro environment? Well, if you want to do a test somewhere, you can do it in a simulated form with real people involved, and it takes you weeks or if not months to actually get there. And why we call it microtest? Because we do it like in very small, rapidly fast settings. So that's why we call it micro, from like small micro test. And actually it's called rapid microtesting. So it's also fast. What normally takes you like weeks or months to do, we can do it basically in hours, if not minutes. You can set up a microtest pretty quickly. And it all comes around like validation. And one of the biggest difference with any other tool that you know about, like A/B testing or polling, is they normally go from like you have one variation of your own product next to another variation, and then I have people like A/B tests like which one they like most. Well, that makes sense for a lot of things, but not for a marketplace. That's not for your main image, not for Amazon images, because you actually want to get a story across. You want to know, am I getting the click? From whom do you getting the click? You're getting them from your competitors. Normally competitors are getting the click right now. Now I get in and I want to get the click. So that's why you make it like a staged environment. In a staged environment, we simulate a marketplace, and that's done like you have to set up like your own product tiles, so to speak, from you and from your competitors, and we present them to people, our buyers, our members, over 300,000 people, in a simulated environment. So if they go on mobile, they see a mobile version of like how the mobile app of Amazon is working, or how the mobile version of Walmart is working, or how the mobile setup of Google Shopping is working. And if they do it on desktop, we simulate the desktop environment and the search result from a desktop environment. So that's what we call like a staged environment, a simulated environment, because we want to put people both subconsciously and consciously into a buyer setup, because that's where it all starts, right? They go to an engine, to some search engine, which is Google, which can be Amazon, which can be Walmart. They type in a keyword, and then they are presented some results. And what you want to know is, am I getting the click? Am I getting the click over my competitors? That's what we call a microtest. Of course, there's like multiple campaigns we have, and you can do it for your secondary images, which are the best images, how to put the order of your image stack, all that sorts of stuff. And later down the road, we have campaigns where we actually have people to test products physically and give them in their hands to actually extend your current microtest environment with a real live product test. And actually the feelings that people have when they look to listings, the emotions that people have when they look to listing, and they compare different listings with each other. If they go to Google and they study information, and they go to Google results, and maybe they read a blog post, or they read, I mean, we study all these things. There's so much more that we are going to release to you if you're actually actively engaged with IntelliV, which is currently, if you never started like where you are right now with doing the 4-step process, creating your first baseline, it will be information overload. So we just say start with the basics, and the basics is doing this microtesting with your own product and starting from a baseline score. Get your feedback with the 4-step process. That's first of all. That's why you don't see many other things there, but there's so much more in the making and so much more information that when you know, we're talking to like big retail brands, big retail companies, and they're craving to get the information. And we're from the Netherlands, we're Dutch, and you know, like they beg us like, when is it released in the Netherlands? When can we actually start using it? It's not the smallest companies. We have a company doing over 1.5 billion euros in revenue, both in e-commerce and offline, like in retail. And they want to have this stuff. This is next level, never seen before kind of stuff that we do, which we call microtesting. And that's why we call it microtesting. This is not polling. This is beyond polling. And actually, because of this, you know, understanding that people have of polling, which is, okay, I have two images. I want people to pick like one over the other. That's not what we do. Actually, I'm against it to do it that way, because we have statistically proven that the results from those campaigns are way off. I mean, you can have 3 very bad versions of your own image. And then you say, okay, which one is the best? Well, it doesn't tell you which one is best or better than your competitors. It only shows you this is, well, the best out of the 3 very bad ones, right? So, I mean, how many of these things you have to do before you know that I'm actually doing better? And so there's only one way to do it, which is A/B testing. And A/B testing in a live environment. But that's taking very long because you need a lot of data, you need a lot of customers, you need a lot of clicks on your listings to actually see, am I outperforming? Like, you know, am I really outperforming? And then still you have all these elements that people can test. Is it the image? Image plus title plus price, image plus title plus price plus reviews, image plus title plus price plus review plus secondary images plus bullet points plus EBC. I mean, how many factors are there that actually, you know, play a significant role in the decision of people? It's so many. And if you change one of them, then, I mean, what actually did it? Was it then the congruency between your main image and your secondary images that was no longer there? So that lost in like, that resulted in like a loss in conversion rate. It can be so many things. So this is why we all call it micro-testing and not just polling. I hope this explained it to you like in quite a lengthy manner, but you know, first the message of this is like, get your feedback, get used to this micro testing tooling. And as I told you many times before, we use this in our own brands and we cannot live without it anymore. And not only me, it's our entire teams. I mean, we developed this all together and we live by this. And also like the customers that we currently have within Televi, they have exactly the same thing, which you know, our testimonial videos and what they're saying about it. And this is not something that we staged like to get you across. This is, you know, this is where the market is going. This is where you should go as well. Test it and validate it. Like the old guys, the big guys, every big company that does it, they validate stuff and you should do too. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And, you know, good luck with your own journey in making your products outperform your competitors. Thank you.